Liverpool, Norfolk, Birmingham travel the length and breadth of Britain, and the variety of local dialects is astounding. So you'd think regional accents should be something we would celebrate and be proud of.
Well, maybe not. According to parents across the country, regional accents are falling out of favour, according to new research, with more than half of parents trying to stop their children speaking the local dialect. Well, in a moment, we'll speak to professional voice actress and coach Eve Carpth, and you'll remember former Apprentice contestant Joe Cameron. But we asked some people in Birmingham what they think.
I think it's a Boston accent, you know. No, I'm quite proud of the accent. You know, my children are starting to pick up the accent now, so I'm quite proud of it. Nothing to be ashamed of.
The grand scale of accents, the Birmingham accent does tend to come across as very lazy and quite thick. And in my job, because I spend a lot of time on the phone, I do purposely try not to speak in a Birmingham accent because I'm dealing with people from all over the country.
It's just a normal accent, isn't it? It's nothing different. You can't judge people just by the accent. It's a bit wrong, isn't it?
I'm not originally from Birmingham, but I don't think the accent's got any problem with it. People love it. If I go out of Birmingham, girls love it, so there's nothing wrong with it.
I've got a 3-year-old niece, and now, because I haven't lived in Birmingham for 8 years, so I haven't really got much of an accent anymore. That's about 10 years now. I asked my little niece if she's alright, and she goes, I'm fine. It's not good.
It's not good, she says. But is it? Eve and Joe are here now. Very good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Joe, you grew up in the West Midlands.
Yeah,
so
I did.
Are you proud of your accent, or have you tried to disguise it?
I think it's very important that we celebrate regional accents, absolutely, because otherwise we lose our individuality. Wouldn't life be a bit bland if we're all the same?
But people do, Eve, judge on the basis of accents, don't they?
Not anymore.
Really?
I don't think so. And I think that the flaw in the argument about, that you've just stated on this survey is that parents have not done any research. They're going back to when they were 8, 10-year-olds or 14-year-olds, and they were told, you know, you ought to speak like that. Nowadays, I think it's the exact reverse.
Yeah, so it's an old-fashioned view, you think, that you think in current society, accents are celebrated more.
Absolutely. I think they're very, very important. And in fact, I mean, just for 1 second to talk about my work, I mean, as a voiceover actress, I am often in trouble now because I speak rather sort of posh, not like that, but I mean, the number of times I have actually wanted to phone up and say, hello, I want to, like, you know, I'd like a job from you, or, you know, put on an accent in actual fact to get the work, because people want regional, they want the diversification.
So your accents, you're from Coventry, has never been a problem for you?
Well, I think for me it's more a challenge of my natural communication style, because that's to speak very, very rapidly and very quickly. However, I'm very fortunate to talk to large groups of people, and I have to really work hard at slowing that down. So I think it's really about pace and tone and emphasis, really, rather than the original accent.
You don't have a broad West Midlands accent, though. Did your parents suggest to you at any stage you should change your?
Not at all. I think it's because when you go to university, for example, you pick up different dialects or accents, and when you travel around about and mix with different people, you pick up bits and pieces along the way.
But there are accents and accents, aren't there? For instance, if you go to, say, a city like Edinburgh or Glasgow, you'll find there's one kind of accent in, say, on the south side of Edinburgh, and a very, very different accent on the other side of the city, and that betrays really your social status.
Well, to some extent, but now there's so much integration everywhere, and there's so much immigration, and there's so many accents. Variety is the spice of life now in England. I think it is a completely different scene.
And Scotland.
Great Britain. Great Britain. I just think in the UK it's changed to such an extent that there's no more stigma attached to accents. And I think exactly like Joe was saying, it's timbre, it's quality, it's what you're saying. I mean, you find people with accents, regional accents, accents from abroad in every walk of life, medical, legal, acting, in everything, and parliamentarians, everybody.
Well, let's look back at sorry, Joe, to interrupt. I was just going to say, before we carry on, let's look back at a time when an accent was seen as something that would hold you back.
This is going to be ghastly.
Show yourself, Higgins. Give the girl a chance.
Oh, well, I suppose you can't expect you to get it right the first time. Now, come here, Eliza, and watch closely. Now, you see that flame? Every time you pronounce the letter H correctly, the flame will waver, and every time you drop your H, the flame will remain stationary. That's how you'll know if you've done it correctly. In time, your ear will hear the difference. See it better in the mirror. Now, listen carefully. In Hertford, Hereford, and Hampshire, hurricanes hardly ever happen. Now, repeat that after me. In Hertford, Hereford and Hampshire, hurricanes hardly ever happen.
In Hertford, Hereford and Hampshire, hurricanes hardly ever happen.
Oh, no. I haven't no ear at all.
Should I do it over?
No, please.
Well, there.
Oh, we all know what happened to her then.
Yeah, but now Professor Higgins would be saying, no, you've got to say in Hertford, Hereford and Hampshire. They would reverse it.
Yeah. I think that is an important point that I was going to make, is that we talked about politicians, and I think politicians have become too polished and almost unbelievable in what they say because they've lost their individual sort of characteristics.
It's kind of refreshing because I've always thought that because of television, actually, that everything is becoming a little bit homogenised, and one day we'll all end up speaking estuary English. But apparently not.
No, I don't think so, because, I mean, look how many new... I mean, Scottish, for instance, Scots became flavour of the month. You know, everybody wanted a Scottish accent. The regional accents, I think that television does the reverse. I think it brings in regional accents from everywhere. I really do. I think it's completely changed.
And you're very lucky your voice is versatile. You can switch if you have to.
I suppose I can, yes.
I wish I'd have met Eve some time ago, because I recorded in The Apprentice. We had to put a radio advert together, and I just remembered this morning I was desperate to do the voiceover and just couldn't do it and cried. So I wish Eve I'd have met you before.
But I wish I'd been on The Apprentice now, so
I think you would have done better than me.
If received pronunciation is no longer the pinnacle, doesn't that put you out of a job to a certain extent?
Well, no, of course not, because I just vary it. Oh. Hello, I'd like to work for you tomorrow. Is that all right? You know, I mean, you just change it.
Fabulous.
Jerry, thanks so much for joining us.
I don't know whether to say thank you or just ta.
Either or. Thank you very much.
Now, this weekend, Liverpool is gearing